Cayley forgot her papers, so she's coming. Cayley, this is very lopsided today. It's like
camera.
Yeah, it looks like we're on a boat.
I wish.
On a boat somewhere. Good morning, Joe, and happy birthday. I saw that comment right before we set up today. So happy birthday. Glad you're spending your birthday with us. I'm also glad to see that the kick in the butt, that's still very crooked. It's fine.
I don't know what to do.
That kick in the butt we gave you guys on Friday clearly has got you awake at 5:45 a.m. in California, and you are scooping your litter box already. So, whoop, whoop, way to go. Reward yourself with reselling like we talked about on Friday. Good morning from Virginia, from Akron, Ohio. Good morning. Happy birthday, everybody's saying. Good morning, Joe, and happy birthday. Good morning, ladies and chat. Happy birthday, Joe. Oh, you guys are so great.
Good morning, everybody.
Our next birthday in our office is our new person. So we're going to go out and celebrate with her on her birthday, but it's not today. Otherwise, y'all have to wait till the end of the year for Cayley and I. Maybe we'll wear some birthday hats for our lives and, I don't know, eat cake at 9 a.m. I don't know what else I would do, but... Happy Money Making Monday. Yep. That's a good thing. That's what I need for my TikTok. Money Making Monday. I like it.
We had quite a few sales going out today, so we had a good Money Making Monday.
Yeah.
54. I just posted that on Instagram. It was, I think, 44 on eBay and 11. Wait, did I do that wrong?
55. We had 55 total.
55.
We had 45 on eBay and then 10 on Posh.
Oh, I posted that wrong then. It's okay.
It's fine.
It's all right.
Same thing. Same difference.
We had a pretty good morning, though, with sales.
Good morning from Virginia. Good morning, everybody. We're so glad you can join us today. We actually have a subject today. We're going to talk about the bins because some people have asked us about it and have talked about wanting to go, but kind of don't know what to expect. So we're talking about that. But is there anything before we go into that you guys did this weekend? We talked about accountability on Friday. Anything that you guys have changed so far to hold yourself more accountable? Any changes that you have done?
I have one.
What?
We were behind on sourcing this past week, so we were...
She says behind, but we were 5 short.
Yeah, we were like 5 or 6 short, so I went sourcing this weekend and found like 20 items, some really good stuff at a place I don't normally source at, so... That was like a 2-in-1. I got to explore a new area a little bit and learn a little bit more about a sourcing opportunity, and we got caught up. Good stuff.
I was really lazy this weekend. I don't want to say that I didn't do anything to hold myself accountable because I did, but mine was a little bit more personal, not necessarily work related, but I woke up extra early this morning to make both myself and my husband lunch today because I'm horrible at just picking stuff up as I go. And I told you I hate doing it, so I make myself do the things that I hate doing first thing in the morning. So I got up real early and made breakfast burritos and prepped salads and wraps and stuff for lunch. So I guess that's my form of accountability. So
Nikki's getting healthy. She's going to start bringing for lunch, so...
Don't get too excited, because I kid you not, 6 months from now, I will look the exact same that I do today, because I already know. But, as I said, there's some personal stuff going on, so I'm trying to do better and eat healthier.
But you're holding me accountable in a way, because I feel like if you're bringing your lunch, that makes me want to bring my lunch. If you're eating healthy, it makes me want to eat healthy, so it's good.
I'm going to give a shout out to a woman because I've watched her bring in veggie trays for the last 2 weeks, and it was really an accountability call out for me. So I'm going to eat my leafy greens with a smile on my face, even though I really don't want to eat them today.
Do you guys have any go-to healthy, for lunch meals that you guys make or that you take with you to the bins? Let us know, because we're going to start bringing our lunch to the bins and probably
days.
Yeah, probably eating in the car, not at inside the bins because it's too hot, but
and gross. It's gross.
Yeah, but we think we're going to start bringing our lunch on the days we go to the bins, and it's also going to be helpful that we don't have to drive away from the bins and drive back. So
I meal prep salads. Thrift and Sister says I meal prep salads. Patchwork Vintage Co. said, sweet, great job, ladies. I have to ship out a 3-foot item. I'm just gonna say this. You did this to yourself. Because this is Cayley. Every single time she hits the home section, and I'm like, get out of the home section. I think I remember seeing your comment, Patchwork Vintage Co., about holding Cayley accountable. You need somebody to drag you out of whatever section you got that in. Every time you go. But also, sometimes it's hard to pass things up, especially if you know that they're going to be good.
That's some people's niche, too. Some people do ship out our source and ship out hard goods, and you're probably a lot better at it than we are.
Consistently listing 15 items per day as soon as I brush my teeth and have coffee. Headed to the bins now.
Dang,
Good.
you have an early start. That's awesome.
I have a record 12 going out today. Yay me. Good job, Lisa. We're
Yeah.
excited for you. That's awesome. I made salsa shredded chicken in the crock pot and put it on top of salad. It lasts for a week. That sounds pretty good.
That sounds good.
Y'all need to email me some recipes that aren't gross. My husband is super picky. It can't have hamburger. It can't be Chinese. It can't be Mexican. Essentially, if it's not chicken nuggets and mac and cheese, he doesn't survive. So, if y'all have any other suggestions, no veggies. They can't be green. My life. I'm telling you, my life. He's probably sitting at work watching this because they don't have power right now and probably can you shut up? Stop telling people. But y'all asked about my significant other, and I'm going to tell you all about how picky he is. So,
good morning, everybody. We got 67 people here already. That's a lot.
That's
for
a record,
as early
I
as
think.
it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
we usually see people jump on more towards the 9:30 mark. We've got 24 likes. Thank you guys for all the likes. If you haven't yet, take a second and please click that. It does help our channel out. Today,
move on?
yeah, today, drop any questions you have reselling wise. We're happy to answer them. Real quick, we're going to talk about our topic of the day, which is, I thought we were talking about the bins. Yeah, I thought we were talking about the bins, a little bit about our bin strategy. But first, let me ask you guys in the comments, drop a comment and answer this question if you're able to. Do you go to the bins? Yes or no? And along with that comment, why do you go to the bins? What's your top reason for going, or what is your top reason for not going? Because I understand that there's a lot of people that don't want to go to the bins.
Tell us.
Yes, tell us down below so we can see some of these comments. But
give me your top one. Top reason why you like going and top reason why you don't like going while we wait for some of these to come in.
okay, well, I'll first start by saying that when I hired Nikki, I was not actively going to the bins. I hate going to the bins by myself. And I think I even told you when you started, I was like, there's a place that we could go where we could dig through bins and we could get stuff for a lot cheaper. But I really hate going. So we probably won't ever go to the bins. We're probably going to stick to regular thrift stores. And that was our strategy for a while. And then fast forward, now we go to the bins every week. So I get both sides of that. I get going and I get not wanting to go. The way I feel about it, and I feel like you're the same, is we don't like going, but it is super beneficial to our business, so we go despite not liking it. So number one reason for me, I personally go to the bins. My number one pro for me is that we only have to go to one place to get a bunch of items. And because we drive so much, that's a big one for me. How about you?
I will be back.
1 second. I see a lot of comments here. You never have gone people anxiety. I totally get that. All right. Yeah. And that's the main reason that we didn't go in the first place, was because of, honestly, for me, just going by myself.
No, you're fine. Good to see ya. Thanks for stopping in. Sorry, we had a visitor. I was I hear a knock and I don't know who it is. I was scared at first, but it ended up being one of our favorite people, so it's perfect.
What's your pro?
Oh, my pro?
Yeah, what's your main reason for going? I just want to see if it's the same as mine or if it's different.
I like going because it's cheap.
Yeah.
But I also like going because I don't know, I guess there's a lot less drive times. You can go into just one place, especially if it's raining. We always go to the bins if it's raining.
Always raining.
Because you walk in the rain one time and then you leave, and You don't have to drive between a bunch of different stores. It's also like decently reliable. So because stuff is so cheap, you can afford to kind of get some things to kind of test out. So I like to test new things out sometimes.
Yeah, that's true.
And kind of pick up things that maybe we are questioning about. I also really enjoy it because there's a lot of things I find in the thrift store that I'm like, man, I would buy this because I know we would sell it, but I just can't buy it for what they have it marked at. And then I find it at the bins and I'm like,
Yeah.
Nala, I get this anyway.
Yeah.
So like it makes me really excited to get stuff like that. But I think overall it's probably the cost and convenience of
Yeah.
going.
Cost is a big one, at least for us. And just to let you guys know, because I know everybody's bins costs are different. When we first started going, it was $1.29 per pound, I think. Then it bumped to $1.49 per
Yeah.
pound. Now it's I think $1.79 per pound is what it's at right now. We had
Yeah,
a lot
I
of,
actually think it might have gone to $1.89.
really?
I don't know. I don't pay attention.
I think it's $1.79. It's either 79 or 89, but we've had a lot of price increases just in the year that Nikki has started. So it's crazy, but even still, $1.79, $1.89 per pound. Most things we get are a pound or less. I would just say a pound just to like round up, but you're still only paying less than a couple bucks. So cost factor really good. What about a negative for you? I haven't said my negative, but I'm curious to know what you say.
I'm gonna choose my words wisely because apparently sometimes we offend people. So let me just rein it in. I don't like that it's super crowded. Let me start there.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's so busy you can't find carts, and I don't want to drag a bag around like consistently on the floor, like trying to throw stuff in it, because it does get heavy after a while, and it's really hard to dig and like hold a bag back and whatever as you're going. So I don't like that. I also don't like. I love people. I'm very open and outgoing, but I don't like being elbow to elbow with people, so we typically avoid the new bins. That's a thing for us. We typically don't go to new bins, but I also just don't like people's attitudes. Like, I know that sounds bad, but like, we're pretty happy-go-lucky. Like, we want to go in, we want to find stuff. Like, I'm not there to compete with you, and I feel like people sometimes get too serious about stuff. Like, most of the stuff that you're going to find at the bins, maybe you might get something $50 to $100. Every now and then you might strike out for a few $100s, but like for the most part, this stuff's pretty everyday stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And people will literally like rip stuff out of your hands and like move your cart or like touch your stuff, shove you, put their hands on you. Like, none of that stuff, I'm going to say bad words. None of that stuff is worth it. And it's like a pretty negative place. Like, it seems very cliquish. And I find that very, very frustrating. Yeah. But at the end of the day, like, it's a business. So, like, we're going to go in and do what we need to do, kind of keep to ourselves, put our heads down, and just focus.
I think that's a great way to put it. It's just a negative place. And that's, like...
It makes people their worst, like, honestly, the worst versions of themselves. Like, and we just try to stick together and kind of keep our head down. But sometimes... Cayley gets a little rowdy and we have to rein each other in. I mean, I can't say just her, but there's certain people that I think tend to kind of set us off, and they're just bullies, honestly. Yeah. That's the best way to explain it, is that there's bully people who just are downright mean and hateful, and I have a really hard time being around that because I kind of, I guess, I don't want to say copy what I'm around, but like I react based on the energy that I'm giving, and when it's nothing but negativity, like it just sucks it out of you.
Yeah.
Some days it's great. You go in and you throw a bunch of stuff in the cart and you leave. Other days you go in, like Friday, we went and I was like, I just can't do this. Like, I'm sorry, but you have to be in the bins mood. You have to be be focused, be dedicated, go in, bust it out, go home. If you're not feeling it, you might as well not go, because you're not going to find what you want.
Yeah. I think that's it for me too. It's just like the negativity and flaw about me. Maybe this is a flaw. I think it's a good and a bad thing about me, but like my biggest pet peeve is when people are rude and inconvenience other people to the point where they inconvenience others so much that they make everyone else feel like they think they're better than everybody else. And I just can't do that. And like, you know, you mentioned the bullying thing. Like, there is a sense of like bullying at the bins. Like, and a flaw of mine is I just cannot put up with that. So I can put up with a lot of things. But when it gets to that point, it rubs me the wrong way so bad. And I'm not even the one being bullied. It ain't even me.
No, it's other people.
And it's driving me nuts. And so when I see stuff like that, I like, it's like
she knows, stay quiet.
I can't handle it. Like, I have to say something. I will put people in their place, and I'm sorry, but like that's it for me. Is like I get really bad anxiety going there just because of, like you said, the negativity.
You have to constantly like watch your back too, watch your cart. People will still take things out of your cart or steal things out of your cart while you're not looking. And like I don't know. That's just not who I am. And I hear ours are not the worst of bins. I hear that like a lot of other regions are a lot worse, but it's definitely something that people just are honest. It's like Black Friday. That's the best thing I can explain it. It's Black Friday and nobody happy. Everybody's tired, crabby, rude. They touch your stuff. They take stuff from you. Like, it's literally like Black Friday. And I just don't like it. Plus, it's dirty. That's my other thing. I might be slightly germophobic, and I like things very clean and very tidy, and the moment that you, like, grab something that you can tell is covered in cat hair or cat pee, you're like, I'm gonna die. There's times where I start digging through a bin, and I just can't finish the bin. I have to just leave it and move on to something else, because...
And we do not...
I can't.
Yeah, we don't, we do not dig with gloves, because we like... I feel like you really miss opportunities if you're
the material.
If you have gloves on, like you're not feeling the quality of an item. This is just my personal opinion. If you shop with gloves on, more power to you. But for us, we feel like we're missing out on items if we wear gloves because we can't feel quality. And a lot of times, like, you know, we try not to look at every single item. We try to be able to get through things quickly. Because if we're having to look at every item, we're going to be there all day. So that's a big test to us, is being able to feel quality or not quality. If it's not quality, we can tell it's a cheap item. We toss it.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, well, those are my pros and cons. You want to add anything to that?
No, I mean, I think we covered almost everything. We'll go through the chat and see what people say. But other than that, let's real quick talk about our bins strategy, which I feel like it's pretty simple.
But that's why I feel like it's okay. Like, when we break strategy, I don't want to go. But if we follow strategy, I'm game.
Yeah, we do have a strategy when we go. We follow, for the most part, we follow like a pattern of shopping there. And we also have like hard limits or soft limits where, like, if this is happening, we know it's time to go. Or if we've been through this much, we know it's time to go. So we have a little bit of a strategy, and I'll make it short and sweet because we got a lot of comments to get through. I see people get fired up about the bins for good reason. So I'm excited to see some of these comments. But our bin strategy, I would say, we go in. We always want to get a cart. There was a time where there was a cart shortage at ours, and we were bringing our wagon. I don't know if you guys saw the collapsible wagon that we use for shipping, but we were bringing that because when we don't have a cart, when we don't have a cart, we're in trouble. So we make sure to get a cart, or if there's not a cart, then we brought our wagon. We bring some reusable bags. Like, we get kind of prepared. We go in and
go to Nikki's favorite bin. We're not going to tell you which bin that is in case you shop with us, but I have a theory that there is one row of bins that's better than all the other bins, and it has consistently done well for us.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
We go a good bin.
We go to our favorite bin usually if there's not a bunch of people there, and then we usually start at one end, and we just work our way through. We do typically avoid the newer bins. If we do jump around, it's after people have just left that newer bin to go to another new bin. We don't typically, I won't say we never do, but we typically aren't feeling it to jump in with a newer bin. And at our bins, at least, people frenzy in the beginning, but then there's always a new bin coming out, and then they'll leave immediately. Like, nobody ever thoroughly goes through everything, and that's what we do. That's where we come in, and that's how we're able to be successful there, is because we are pretty thorough.
Yep. So Kaylee and I will each typically take a side of the bin. So if this is our bin, I'd be on one side, she'd be on the other. And we go through literally every single item in that bin, whether we physically look at the tag, whether we're touching the item, whatever it is, we physically go through every single item as we're going through. We shove everything to one side and then weed our way through it, work all the way down that row, and then start again.
Yeah, and like she said, our bins at least I know some have like a double bin stacked and then a row. We just have one single row, and she's on one side, I'm on the other, and we move through like at the same time.
Yep.
So, and that way we're very thorough, and I mean people just miss stuff.
Well, and it keeps them from throwing things back in your way too. So with us kind of moving through a bin, it keeps everything fluid. When you're going to a new bin, you've got 20 people tossing things in different directions. It's really hard to tell what's what. I'm not saying we'll never jump in new bins. Occasionally we do and skim the top, but we still pretty much wait till everybody's gone again and then we go through everything.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where a lot of times we find a lot of good things.
Yeah.
My other tip is you always have to thank the bin. I don't know why, but it's a thing for me. Every time that I find something really great in the bin, I tap the bin and say, "Hey, thanks." And I swear I find so many good things after that. It might be all in my head. It really is. But it's like a mental thing for me. Yeah. Like it's that positivity I need. So yeah. I'm over here tapping bins and saying thank you. It's fine.
And again, we won't say that we never hop to, if we're feeling spicy one day, we might throw a bag. If we do go to a new bin, we throw a bag on our shoulder. We take an empty bag with us, and then we try to kind of do the same thing where we're one on each side. I won't ever say that there aren't exceptions and we don't skip around sometimes or we don't follow our pattern, but for the most part, we're following that pattern. Another tip that recently we've kind of been implementing is there's a spot where like everybody sits down and it's where everybody throws back their items, and we find some really good stuff in throwbacks. Yeah. So sometimes we'll also occasionally, like maybe before we leave or whatever, we'll go to the end of that section where everyone is like tossing stuff back, and we'll just look at the ends real quick. We find a lot of good stuff that way.
Might be stuff that they wouldn't sell or that isn't a brand that they're super familiar with, but a lot of times it is for us, so we'll pick it up. Yeah. The other thing that we always do as well is when we're kind of going through items, we used to just throw everything in the cart and then comp. We've kind of been comping as we've been going, and I like that honestly a little bit better. Mm-hmm. So we've been kind of looking at things. I'm not going to say we comp everything because we don't. We feel like we can be a little bit looser because it is at the bins. But we look at factors, we make sure it's in good quality, and then we throw it in the cart if we're not going to comp it. But we are comping them as we go. We throw it in the end of the cart. And then at the very end of all the time that we're done shopping, we go through things again. We make sure that they're in good quality. There's no holes, rips, tears, stains, whatever is on them. And we bag them up as we go. That's also a good time for us to kind of second guess ourselves. We show them to each other and say, "Hey, I picked this out. This is what I was thinking. Yay or nay, or what are you thinking?" That's a good time for both of us to be like, maybe you need to comp that, or nah, I think we need to leave that. We also try to pick up stuff that the other person picked up. So like maybe if she picks up something that she's looked over, and if I look at it and still don't see something, we're pretty sure that there's not a stain, or vice versa. Yeah. Or we'll toss things to each other and say, "Hey," especially like white items, since it's so dark in there, can you do a second glance on this and make sure that it's of good quality? So
you gotta double check everything for quality. We also try to, when we do our comps or our look-throughs, we try to go to an area that has a little bit better lighting. Ours just like, you're never going to get bright natural light, but we do try to go where there's better lighting to look for flaws, and so we do a 2-part checking process. I think that's about it. Short and sweet. Let's look at these comments. I'm excited to see what people say about the bins.
Yes. The bins cost me 25 cents per item. Low cost, no losses. That is true. What's the best printer for shipping labels? We use a Samsung M2020 printer. It is, what we say, laser. It is not thermal. It is a laser
printer. That's what we use.
It is top notch. We like it.
What is the best? I can't say. I've not used every printer. I know a lot of people like the Rollo printers for actually printing labels themselves, but we just use the normal size sheets of paper, normal size printer with dual sticky labels. Yeah, 2 on each page.
Patchwork vintage. You did it to yourself. It was a knitting arm, and I won it on an online auction. Had no idea how big it was. It did sell very quickly. I'm glad it sold quickly. That's for awesome. You. I am really glad for that. I was just giving you crap because I like that you also helped me pick on Cayley, so thank you. Lower cost of goods. I hate the groups that budge and throw everything around. Yeah. Cayley one day, legitimately, somebody kept throwing things in her way, and she just took this massive heap of clothes and like threw it at them, and it made my
Not
heart.
at them.
It was literally
them.
right in their way.
In front of them,
Yes.
not at them.
Not like on their body, but like literally in the pile they were digging at. And I was like, oh. Like sometimes I just have to sit back and laugh. But this happened like multiple times. Yes, I go less expensive. We don't have bins near me. We have an outlet that is $2 per item. So that's probably pretty similar kind of concept. Might be a good look for you as well. The closest bins to me is 1 hour, so I have yet to make it. I have 2 kids under 3, so it's a tough ride, but I want it so bad. Megan, we drive about an hour to an hour and a half to most of the places that we thrift. I can tell you, I have taken my kids with me. I have one, well, I have 2 kids, but I have one that is 9 and one that is 4. And I thought my 4-year-old would be 10 times worse than my 9-year-old kid. And I swear, the older ones are the worst ones because they're like, this is it. You spend hours here. Like, now what? I'm bored. I would recommend if you can find somebody to watch your kids for the day, it's definitely worth it because then you can focus a little bit more. Even if it's just for a couple hours, like a few hours when you save an hour drive there and an hour drive back, it's definitely, I feel like you could get way more for your time if you had somebody help you. I go because it is so much cheaper than going to the regular thrift stores. I don't like going because of rude people.
I feel ya on that.
50-cent shoe days. I would like 50-cent shoe days. Low cost, and I love the treasure hunt. I don't like that it's an hour and 15 minutes away. Local thrift is expensive. We're kind of in the same boat.
Yeah.
I feel like ours was priced pretty similar. Our thrift store here.
Yeah, it was.
But not as good by any means as some of the other ones that we go to. Yes, and I hate it. I only go to bulk up. Peace. We too.
That's a good point to bulk up. That's a good pro for sure.
Okay, I got it. Sorry. Our helper is having printer issues. She came waving at us. Yeah, I feel like that's what we do. Anytime that we're going to like make a change. So like this week, we are actually upping our listings another 10 listings. So we're going to go to 150 listings a week rather than 140 listings a week. We're planning on expanding that even further. But for a helper, we decided we only wanted to do just a couple each day. And that way she wasn't severely overwhelmed. So we're going to add up just a few each day to kind of see what that looks like. But anytime we're doing that, we do go to bulk up there because we want to make sure that we're 100% kind of set to go. It's also, we go there when we hit dry spells. So anytime we hit a dry spell in regular thrift stores and we know we need to get them, we spend time at the bins. So typically Monday, we either do a half day sourcing or we do a full day sourcing. And then Tuesday, we typically go to the bins. We like to space out our bins days because our backs will like kill us from leaning over the bins for so long. So we typically spread them out so we are in like better moods. So we typically do that. But if we like say go sourcing on Monday and don't do very well, we go to the bins. Tuesday, we do okay. Wednesday, we hit regular thrift stores again. It's not going good. That we use Thursday as kind of a flex day. If we've already got 150 items for the week now, we're good. We might go ahead and hit another couple like higher ASP stores where we know we can get less items but higher quality. But if we know, we're going into Thursday and we're still 50 short for the week, we're going to go to the bins to bulk up. So that's a really good point as well. Never have people anxiety. Yeah. I get it. Like, I don't get really nervous. I mean, I regularly, before this job, worked around like hundreds to thousands of people a day, and it didn't faze me. But I don't know what it is about it there.
To be fair, I just have to say this because, man, some people get triggered on some of the stuff we say. But I just want to say that we have also made some really good friends at the bins, people we enjoy seeing. Like, we actually look forward to seeing them there. We wonder if they're going to be there when we go. Like,
a few we've met from YouTube as well.
Yeah, a few we've met just who've recognized us from YouTube. So, like, I just want to say, like, it's not all bad. There are people that we definitely enjoy seeing there. We enjoy thrifting with, having conversations with. But then, there are those other people, and I would hate to say it, but it's the majority of people there that aren't so nice. So
We
it's
all
not
need
everybody.
to just go to the bins together and be in good moods and just suffocate out all the negative people with all the positivity that we're radiating.
Yes. Yes. Hey, we got 109 people watching, 50 likes. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Thank you guys so much.
Maggie says, I love my bins in Wisconsin. I pay 99 cents pounds over 25 pounds and only source once a week for the following week. So it's easy to get all 105 pieces at once. That's a good deal. I circle the territory like a vulture. I like it. Have you thought about training a part-time picker for the bins? Yes.
We have thought about that.
Yes, we have.
We've talked about it. I wouldn't say we've talked about it like
We've mentioned
thoroughly,
it often.
but we definitely have talked about it a little bit in detail, but we're just not there yet. Just to catch you guys up, like, we haven't said everything that's happened here, but we recently, how do I phrase this? We recently restructured, and currently it's just Nikki and I and
A helper.
a full-time employee that we've hired who has basically done all of the work here at the office that has relieved Nikki and I to go sourcing. We're about to, with the help of that full-time person who is being a lot more efficient than we expected them to be at this time because they're getting so much done, we're about to increase our listing goal for each day, which means Nikki and I have to source more. So we're just kind of like, we're in almost like a transition period. We're trying to kind of find our footing and what works for us and how much we're actually going to be able to get done before we commit to hiring another person for any position. But we have kind of talked about it a little bit.
Yeah, we've talked about getting maybe potentially a couple part-timers, one maybe to help with sourcing. It would be solely the bins. We've also talked about hiring somebody eventually as a support person for our current office assistant so we could take a couple things off of her plate to increase listings. But like Cayley said, we're just not there yet. I do think those two would have to kind of go hand in hand, that we would have to have additional support here to expand listings, but we also have to be to make sure we can guarantee to get the items. But I definitely think bins would be, every time we've talked about having help sourcing, the bins has always been the place we've talked about because of the cheap cost of goods, because if they make mistakes, they're cheap mistakes, and it's one place for them, so we're not paying mileage for somebody to drive all over the place. It would be directly to a place, paying them to get those items and so on. So
yeah,
that's very in depth for where we were going, but I feel
you're also wanting to apply to that position, then if you know,
let us know.
Yeah, if you know that you're nearby and you know us real well, if that's why you asked that question, then send me an email.
Yeah, the other thing is finding somebody that's trustworthy, that you can trust isn't gonna like go to the bins and dig out all the best things for themselves and leave you with just really crappy stuff. Yeah. And somebody who, you know, we can trust to just have them go and we meet up with, you know, once or twice a week to do those things. It's hard when we don't live super close to the bins and can't check in consistently, and we don't necessarily want to pay somebody to drive consistently to the bins with gas prices and stuff the way that they are. We'd have to find somebody decently close. But if you guys are semi-close to a bins area, y'all know we're in Ohio, so that kind of limits it a little bit there, and you would be interested in being a part-time shopper for us, let us know. Shoot Cayley an email. I feel like the bins raised my immune system during COVID, as well as my family and my home. I was digging deep during the worst parts of the pandemic, and all 4 humans never got COVID. Well, there's one perk of the bins.
We had that theory too. Builds up the immune system. It's true though.
Yes, I go. Low cost of items, and in the same building, they have second editions, the Goodwill boutique. So when items don't sell there, it gets dumped in the bins.
Smart.
So you can get some good items. No, they are packed all the time. They are packed literally all the time.
Yeah, it seems like almost every time we've gone lately, if we go too late in the day, we have to wait to get a cart. Like, you have to kind of stalk people checking out so that you can ask them to take their cart before they put it back.
I definitely recommend going early. I've noticed early in the morning, like, it's busy, but it's not bad, and it's typically the same like reseller people we like to interact with. I have gone in the evening a time or two. It was nuts. And then weekends I hear are pretty nuts.
They're nuts.
So
yeah.
I would recommend during the week, early morning if you're able to. No bins close to me, but an outlet that's $100. $1.75 each. Items I will go there occasionally, but find better stuff in regular thrift stores. We do too. Honestly, like we find more top dollar things in regular thrift stores. Occasionally we hit something that's really good because our outlet still does like raw donations as well. It's kind of what we're really looking for is those raw donations versus just the kickbacks from Goodwill. But occasionally, like we do still hit good home runs of things that were missed from Goodwill. Most of the stuff we do pick up though tends to be more of like the everyday items that we're selling for more like 20 to 25 versus the like 30 to 40 we're typically looking for. But we go for like really high sell-through rate or really like important factors on items that we can quickly get rid of. So local charity chain has bins type outlet that I go to. I like low cost per items. During summer, it's too hot, so I shop regular thrift stores. It does get
really hot.
very hot. So we typically limit that and do like half days if we have to, if it gets too hot.
Ours doesn't believe in AC. They just open the doors, and you do honestly feel sick shopping in there.
Yeah.
3.5 hour drive. Yeah, it was for us until this location opened few years ago, so I get that. It might still be worth it.
Thank you, Joe. Tell everybody to hit the like button. We appreciate you. My bins are 2 hours away. I love it. Clothes are $1 a pound. I stay at least 6 hours and get 3 cartfuls. Shoes are $2 a pair. Yeah, if you can go and spend the entire day there, you might get literally the majority of your sourcing done in one day, which is always a good idea. $2 shoes in Texas. Yes, it's a bins 30 minutes from us. Love one-stop shop. You can take more of a risk with the items. Yep, because the out-of-pocket is so low.
We do like that. And you know what? We've been noticing lately that the stuff that, because we don't tend to go with a gut, I mean, we try not to. We tend to be way more strict at regular thrift stores. If we have a really strong gut feeling about something, we'll get it. But for the most part, we limit that to only being at the bins. But lately, at the bins, because we've been taking more risks, we've been getting those gut feelings. We've been purchasing stuff that maybe we probably wouldn't have if it weren't at the bins, and stuff's been selling. Like our what?
Just keep going.
Our our gut feelings have been right at the bins, and we've become more confident as sourcers, I think, because of it. But we've definitely been selling a lot of gut feeling items from the bins lately.
So and Thrift says no bins for me, too crowded, and I've seen disasters that people have posted on Instagram. I would end up arrested because the moment someone put their hands on me, I hit back ASAP.
Yeah.
I literally can't tell you the amount of times this week I told Cayley that I was going to go to jail.
Yeah.
Because I can't. There's this one specific person, I'm not going to say names, but she like makes me the worst version of myself, which I know is a personal problem and I need to rein that in. But it's when bullies pick on like the underdog or the little people that just really set me over the edge. And this woman's just a complete psycho.
She ticks. I mean, like people at the
it's not
bins
just
know
us.
Her names. Like everyone has had an issue with her, but I think it's getting to the point where people are starting to report her to the managers. I've seen a few people. I reported her last week because I was like, I'm done. Like, because if I don't, then that is when hands are gonna happen. So. Yeah.
So if y'all come onto a live and only one of us is here, you can assume that our lovely bins person finally set one of us over the edge. Because
I feel you on that. I get it.
She's the kind of person that like gets in your face too and like keeps screaming at you, like enticing you.
Yeah.
Which I'm good.
Instigates.
I'm good until somebody puts their hands on me, but then I can't make promises.
Yeah.
I totally agree about being easier to take risks on them. On items with low cost of goods. Does everyone go to the bins on a specific day of the week? Have you found that one day is better than the others?
There's days that we like to go and that we just kind of structure our week, but we'll go really any day of the week. We just prefer, at least this is my opinion, if you're going to shop at both regular thrift stores and the bins, it's probably better to shop at the regular thrift stores in the beginning of the week because that's when you're going to find the best stuff. So we tend to shop towards the end of the week there. That's a strategy of itself. As far as what is the best day to go, honestly, I think it's just random, like luck of the draw, whatever donations go that day. I don't think that they hold certain donations for other places. They're rotating about the same amount, it seems, each day. It's pretty, like, I would say it's pretty even across the board. I wouldn't say one day's better than the other. I think you just get lucky sometimes and a good donation came in.
I just prefer Thursday.
I
I don't know why, but I tell you, I have this mental thing that Thursdays are a great bins day. So
we've had some good luck on Thursdays, but I won't.
I
would
can't commit to that.
Yeah, I won't say for sure.
I want to go to the bins, but I'm holding myself accountable to work through my back stock. Plus, I want to go to garage sales this summer. I have allowed myself to buy 35 items for a couple of months.
That's
yes,
smart.
Work through your back stock first, Joe. It's not your fault that people are so crazy, but I'm glad that wherever you're going to the bins, that they are not as crowded or as unpredictable. My bins are one person to a bin, which I think really helps with the overall environment. It's pretty chill and really nice for the new bins. That's how ours was when COVID was a thing. It was like one person per bin.
For
the new bins. Yeah. And we really liked it like that because it kind of gave you a chance to look through things. But that being said, now that COVID precautions have been lifted in our bins, that's not a thing anymore.
India, when the shoes come out, yeah. The shoes, something about shoes and handbags, okay? Shoes and handbags at our location anyways, people go nuts. I mean, I really think that somebody would like stop being friends with somebody over those bins.
Dude, there's people who will literally pick up a shoe and be like, if you see this, it's mine. It's mine. This one, it's mine. And they literally just picked it out of the bin. And you're like,
yeah,
that lady 3 rows back already had that in her cart 20 minutes ago. Like,
yeah.
What are you doing? Yeah. Shoes are ruthless. You are correct.
Story about bullying. Was at the bins and this lady took a shoe out of my hand, so I grabbed the other and walked away. This lady spent the rest of the time there following me, trying to get it back. Do you go to our bins? Because that sounds pretty familiar.
Yeah, I think I've heard that story. I might have witnessed that. So if that's you, Jamie, please let us know. Legitimately, I think this might be the same person.
Did you see what she said later? When we were leaving, I threw the shoe in the outgoing bin.
Yes. Those are the moments though, like if you really want to be that petty, like, you know, go for it. Love the bins because the prices, hate it because of the rude aggressive people that grab up everything and go to the corner and sort. I have even heard them growl at others that try to get something that they want.
Tell me if you guys have heard this too. At our bins, like, I constantly will have people come up to me and, like, people I don't know, by the way, and grumble about, did you see all the new people here? Like, I wish that the new people would just go. Like, they don't know what they're doing. Like, and they'll try to discourage anyone that they see that's new.
Any competition.
Coming in because they like, call them annoying. I think they think it's more competition, but it's like, this is a public place. Like, anyone can shop here. What is going on? Like, it's all the old timers sometimes that are a little sour.
Amy, the Nebraska hanger, says, morning ladies, hi from Omaha. My bins are not great, mostly hard goods, but bread and butter stuff. It's kind of what we go. We get a lot of bread and butter stuff. Oh, and she says we're inspiring. Thanks.
Thank you.
My bins has a door that goes outside to the hard goods so I can check for spots.
That's
like
cool.
That. Thumbs up. Smash the like button. Thank you. First time I went to the bins, I got a Stuart Wiseman patent leopard print clutch that was sitting on the top of a pile that someone had thrown back. Flipped it for $40. So often.
Throwbacks are good.
People pick up things. I also love finding Lululemon when we're there because it's just like literally finding a holy grail item there. I don't know why, but it makes my heart happy. Do you send offer? Oh God, sorry guys. Do you send offers to likers to Posh or eBay right away, or do you wait a day or two?
Okay, so I currently use Posher VA on Poshmark, so I have it set to automatically send offers. I think it's 10 minutes after somebody likes an item, and it's awesome. It's like $25 a month. There's a link down below in the description if you're interested, plus a coupon code. They have a free trial period. That's the end of my spiel. I don't know why you wouldn't be trying it out. it's really awesome. But that extension does all that for me. I just have it set to every time somebody likes an item, it automatically sends them an offer. So it's just running in the background after I set it up. I don't really have to do any of that. So I would say that would be right away, but I don't manually do that. And then for eBay, I send out bulk offers on eBay, and I just have like it open up in my Chrome on my phone, and I just go a few times a day and send out bulk offers like all at once for 10% off. And I do that several times a day whenever I think about it. I would say I do it at least 3 times a day, if not much more than that. So I would say within a few hours of somebody liking it. So pretty often and pretty soon after they've liked it. I do recommend doing that. I mean, you're more likely to get a sale if you do it closer to when they've started the interest in the item. After that, a buyer starts to lose interest. So I personally recommend that. That's what works best for us.
Or they keep looking and they find something else that they're like, oh, maybe I like this a little bit more. If they get an offer, they think it's a quick sale, they might just sail the ship.
Yeah.
Aren't you scared of competition? The thrift stores I go to are now are all picked over by other resellers. The bins are 3.5 hours away from me. I feel like I won't be able to do this much longer. No, I don't fear. Let me tell you why. One, because if you're consistent, you're going to have a lot of people that drop out. I feel like I'm really calling myself out today. I feel like it's like losing weight where like everybody at the beginning of the year is like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to resell. I'm going to lose weight. I've got goals. I'm going to be consistent. And then you get to people who are like April, May, June, who have like fallen off the face of the planet. They're not reselling anymore. They've picked up a bunch of stuff. Now that's not selling. Now they have to mark it down. They've lost too much money and they're like, I'm done. You also have different brands. So what you're shopping for might not be what they're shopping for. So think about that as well. Are there things that you can pick up that maybe they don't know about? I mean, I think everybody knows about like Lululemon. Everybody knows about like your really top dollar brands. But what about those everyday brands? There's brands that Cayley and I come across literally every day that we've never seen before, that we just spend an extra moment, we comp, and we find out that it's something that's been really good that maybe we've skipped for the last few months. You have to find the things that they don't know about, and the only way to do that is to rely on your eBay comps. And again, like eventually they're going to probably not succeed. I know that sounds kind of crappy to say, but at the end of the day, like if you're competing with 50 resellers, you probably are going to have maybe a third of them remain, and you're going to see more items. I mean, and that's like me high guessing.
Sometimes too, like, I mean, I've seen resellers that have a high ASP, like they focus on the really good brands, that's all they pick up. I've seen them be successful. I've seen people who play the quantity game and they buy stuff in bulk and they find stuff for so cheap. Maybe they only shop at the bins, but they have a very consistent listing habit. And sometimes it really is just consistency, which is going to make you outperform somebody else regardless of the kinds of items that you have. So you have to find a way to have a competitive edge. For us, we're just very consistent. We don't give up. We persevere. Even when sales are slow, we're still sourcing. We're still listing. And that's something that I would say like 80% of resellers don't do because they give up because they're worried about competition. The other thing is, like, if you're worried about that in your area, then you got to be the first one to the thrift store. Like, you got to get up earlier.
Get up earlier in the day. Go earlier in the week.
Go more consistently.
Go more often to those thrift stores. I mean, there were days when I started where we would only hit like 2-ish thrift stores in a day because we were thoroughly combing everything. But then there's days where we know that we've just gone through those. So we literally only go in and look at new items and we run in and out. We may hit 4 or 5 stores in a time. Like, it just depends. But you've got to get up earlier. You've got to be more consistent. You've got to beat them essentially to the thrift stores. And if that's not working because they're like us and they're there when the store opens, maybe you need to look at some other stores. Are there areas that you can go to that you haven't sourced in yet? I know I think you said that the bins was 3.5 hours away. That is a long drive. Can you go there for a day, spend one whole day and commit to going and bulking up on things just to kind of get you through until you find some of those items. Can you expand your sourcing area? I mean, that's what we do. We've had some that we've hit that have been really, really good that now we don't hit anymore because they're not good anymore. Or some that we've come across that have ended up being our honey hole, and people don't typically know about it. One specifically, we know that resellers tend to hit after like 1 to 2 o'clock. We go there first every single week. Every single time we go, we're there the very first thing in the morning because we want to make sure that we get first dibs on all those things. So
something else I would say to the person that asked that, and also anybody kind of feeling that way where they feel like it's getting too competitive, you're not going to be able to get good stuff. One of the best pieces of advice I could give you is to niche down, which sounds very counterintuitive because it sounds like, well, if I niche down, then I'm not going to have as many options. If I decide to only source men's jeans, like that's going to really limit my sourcing options. But when you think about it, if you niche down and you become an expert in one category, you're going to know so much more about jeans than those other resellers. You're going to be so much more knowledgeable, and you'll learn about brands or factors or sizes that you can pick up that other people are not because you are an expert in it. Mm-hmm. And again, it sounds very counterintuitive, but if you're somebody that's worried about having that competitive edge, then you need to become more knowledgeable in a category so that you can outsource somebody just based on knowledge. And I think actually a lot of times that's why we have such good luck sourcing, is like people leave behind like LO Bean barn coats all day long because they think they're not worth anything, but I know that I've consistently sold them for years for like $50 and up. So
the other thing too is weight. Bins weight will get you. Some people will leave the bigger items because they don't want to pay the bulkier weight. Most times you're still not paying more than $10 for something, which is pretty close to what you would pay in a thrift store for some of them. And sometimes you can flip those items for like $60 to $70, if not more. So she brought up barn coats. That's what made me think about it.
Yeah.
The bins I go to are chill and they're friendly. I'm pretty sure they don't know my reseller. When staff are sorting and find brands, they'll tell us and call out and ask if we're interested in them. FYI, the bins here in Toronto are not Goodwill affiliated. It's $3.99 a pound. My cost of goods is typically between $2 to $3 an item. They have a 5-pound minimum, and I easily do that each week. My best flip from the bins recently was a Lucky Brand silk maxi dress, size extra large, brought for $2 and flipped for $50.
That's awesome.
That's a good deal.
We do like Lucky Brand at the bins.
Joe, I will keep that in mind. I'll try to be the bigger person and just let them handle it. My favorite day is Tuesdays and Thursdays. I don't know why, but those are my happy days. I don't have hardly any of the bin issues that you guys have at mine. Most of the time I'm the only one in the bin I'm looking at. Sometimes it's like that. Like it's barely any busy. I notice, again, it is typically towards lunchtime when it seems like everybody starts coming, or after lunch when everybody starts coming, that it gets a little bit more crazy, especially our specific crazy person.
Every area is definitely different. Some are more busy than others. I will say the ones that for me have been the most sketchy are the ones that everyone puts a sheet over their cart. Have you guys been to a bins like that? There's one that is a few hours away from me that I used to go to before the one near me opened up, and someone like literally told me because I had no idea, and they were like, yeah, most people go to the linens bin, grab a sheet or grab a blanket and then put it over their cart so nobody can see what you have. You can identify which cart is yours because you know like what color sheet you have, and you just really have to keep an eye on your cart. And that was really eye-opening for me. I was like,
wait, people are gonna steal my stuff?
Yeah, I was like, what? And then the bins that we go to, like, people don't do that, and it's just like, what a difference, in having to worry about your cart getting stuff taken out of it or not. People have to literally throw a blanket over their cart. Like, everywhere is different.
Honestly, the regular Goodwill here are getting more competitive and higher in price. I've been sourcing at other thrift / consignment and online. We originally, when I started, we were kind of going to a variety of places, and then we kind of niched down and went only to Goodwills, and now we're kind of back into going to multiple places again. And honestly, Cayley and I had this debate earlier this week that she prefers Goodwill, but can you read this? Because I feel like you're struggling.
I was just laughing because two people, one after the other. Someone said, I go to the Nashville bins and they're cray cray. And then the next person said, come to Tennessee. I found the nicest people. And it's literally the same
place.
Well, there might be multiple bins there, but it's the same place. It's just funny how
people perceive it.
Yeah, people perceive it.
It depends on the day and stuff too. But
yeah.
No, Cayley said she prefers Goodwills, and I would prefer the other random thrift stores we go to. I'm not gonna get too specific on that, but there's a couple that I feel like the price variety is a little bit different. So sometimes you can get like leggings and stuff there for as cheap as like $1.99 or $2.99, and where like Goodwill you just have flat rates. But then there's times where like I think this week I ran into like Territory. I had men's jeans. They wanted $24 for them, and I was like, no, you can keep those, but thanks. And they like weren't anything special. So, I mean, I don't know.
We're about to have to blast through some questions because we're almost at an hour. So if you guys do have any questions, put them in the comments because we're about to end the stream. But I did want to finish by saying, as we're talking about, worrying about it being competitive, I just want to say that it is very competitive where we are. We were talking about the bins today, but the regular thrift stores we go to are super competitive. If we do not go early in the day, there are a ton of resellers there. It's kind of like the bins, honestly. I mean, as new racks come out, people frenzy. They're already waiting as somebody's pulling the new rack out. Like, you have to be there. You have to be ready. You have to kind of know how their shopping patterns work. You have to know what the new color tag is. Like, you just have to know those things. And I don't want anybody to think that, besides the bins, that it's just easy and we're just like la-di-da-di-da. Like, it's tough out there. Like, it really is, but you just got to keep going and find your competitive edge.
Do you want to talk to Joe about bulk offers on eBay?
Joe, we showed that in a live. I don't remember which one it is. Yeah, I don't remember which one it is, but we actually showed it on our phone. But all you can't do it on the app that I know of. But you open up your browser, whether that's Chrome or whatever, on your phone, go to eBay, go to your seller hub, go to your active listings. At the bottom, you'll see some quick filters. You can click a bubble that says send offers eligible. It'll pull all of them up. You'll click the checkbox to select them all. Then you'll hit send offers, and then you're able to bulk send offers from there. Sorry, that was a quick one. It's hard to tell you without being able to show you. But a few lives ago, if there's any of them you haven't watched, we did actually show that on screen.
How do you gauge how much time you're willing to spend on an item? If it's decent brand but has stains or pilling, do you pass on them? Pilling is one thing for me because we have a sweater shaver that takes care of a lot of that, and I feel like that's pretty quick and easy. Stain removing is a lot more difficult. Generally, it has to be a very high priced item, something that I would be willing to sell with leaving the stain on it for us to pick it up, because there's always that chance that it's not going to come off. Now, I mean, if you're getting that item at the bins for like a couple bucks, like I've brought some pretty difficult things home from the bins that I've given a shot because they were only $1 to $2 a piece, and I knew I could flip them for like 50-ish, 50 to 60. But ultimately, if it's not something like that, we just leave it for the most part. Again, if it's top dollar or very cheap, it might be worth it to bring it home and throw it in the washer, see if it comes out. But 9 times out of 10, we leave those behind.
I think that's a big mistake that newer resellers make. At least I did in the beginning. Was I thought, it's a really great item. I might only have to spend a couple minutes getting it clean. Well, then it doesn't come clean, and you wash it like 5 times. You have to go to the store and buy a stain remover. And it's like all the time you've put into that item, like you could have just spent sourcing another $25 item that had no flaws. So that's just kind of how we look at it.
How do you avail the global shipping on eBay? I see eBay International Standard Delivery. Is that the same? Those are not the same. So you can do a global, we typically do global shipping at the top, and then our secondary option is that eBay International Standard Delivery.
Yeah, we talked about this in a live too, but essentially if you go onto Google and you search how to turn on global shipping program on eBay, it's like one of the first results on Google. Click into it, it'll explain how to do it. But before you can participate in that, you have to go and like turn the setting on, and then it will ask you if you want to apply it to all of your available listings. You say yes, it'll apply it to everything. It's very simple. In addition to that, you can also do a secondary option, which would be that international standard delivery.
Deliberty.
I can't talk. I'm trying to talk too fast, so I'm skipping on my syllables there, but we offer both. So, but I would recommend if you're getting started to just go ahead and turn that global shipping program on, but just Google that. It'll give you instructions on how to do it.
Welcome, Raymond. I am excited that you're here and that you're beginning reselling. I hope that some of the things that you see or watch will help you with reselling as a beginner. But obviously, if you have questions, feel free to always join our lives and ask. We'll do our best to help you through it. OxyClean is normally my go-to as well, Joe. And you're right. If it doesn't come out the first time, it's either donated or we list it the way that it is with just specifics of showing where those stains are, whatever it is. And again, don't pick it up if you have to deep clean it unless you're going to make a great profit on it. Those are all really good tips for today.
Yeah.
Very good tips. So,
all right.
We're going to, I think, end it here. But we have 113 people watching. We only have 68 likes. So if you all want to jump on the very end here and give us some likes, we would appreciate it. If you have any topics you'd like us to talk about on Friday, feel free to drop them and let us know. Otherwise, I guess we'll see you Friday.
Yeah.
Love the morning chat before work. Job number 1. Have a great day. You
Yeah.
too, Miss Fancy Pants. I like that. It was cute. All right, well, we will see you guys on Friday on the next live with some fun things to talk about then. If you have not checked it out, I'm a little salty about it, but I made a really cool video on TikTok that TikTok removed my sound for. So I'm going to have to redo it, but it's still a pretty funny video. If you enjoy making fun of me and watching me gallop on plush ponies, feel free to watch our at Well-Traveled Clothiers TikTok.
I think I put it in the description. Maybe.
It's pretty
It'll
funny.
be there in just a second if not. But it's a part 1 of a series.
It is a part 1 of a series about our favorite thrift store employees. So check it out. We will see you Friday. Bye.